In this video, we are going to talk about standard form linear equations. So we should have learned how to do slope-intercept form and graph that. If you don't remember what slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m equals the slope and b equals the y-intercept. Need to raise that up there. So that's what those two equal when we talked about y equals mx plus b, and x and y are a point. So it's asking you, the directions are asking you to change this graph, this function right here, into y equals mx plus b, into this slope-intercept form. Okay? So I'm going to take my equation here. 3x plus y equals 5. And I want it to look like y equals mx plus b. In order to do that, I need to get my y alone. So the only way to get my y alone is to get rid of this 3x and put it onto the other side of the equal sign. In order to do that, I would subtract 3x because it's a positive. Subtract 3x on that side, and I would subtract 3x on this side. Now this doesn't end up getting me 2x because there's no x on the 5. So really, that's just going to be rewritten. This is going to say y equals, and when I think of slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b. So whatever has the x, we want to write in front of the one that doesn't have the x. So this negative 3x does have an x, so we're going to write that in front of the b value. So we're going to write y equals negative 3x, and then that 5 is a positive, so I'm going to write plus 5. Once I have that written in slope-intercept form, I can then graph it. Okay? So I'm going to make a point on my y-intercept, which is 0, 5. Make a point there. And my slope would be down 3 because it's negative. Down 3 and then right 1. So down 1, 2, 3, right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, right 1. That's where that would be. I would then make my line for my graph. Boom. Okay. So standard form, this isn't exact, that's how standard form looks, but we actually changed it from standard form to slope-intercept form is what we did. We changed it into slope-intercept form. Okay? Let's look at the next one. We're going to try to do the same thing. So how would I solve this? How would I get it so y is alone here? What I would do if I had to solve this is I would try to maybe add that 2x to both sides of the equal sign. So my next step I think I would do is I would add 2x because I want to get the y alone. Add 2x. Now I'm not doing negative 3 plus 2x and getting like 5x or negative 1x. I'm not doing that. This just leaves me y on that side of the equal sign. On the other side, I have a positive 2x. Remember, I'm trying to rewrite this in standard, or I'm trying to rewrite this in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. I'm just reading the directions. And then the b value is this last thing without the x, the minus 3. So I'm going to write minus 3 there at the end. Now I got to graph this. When I graph a slope-intercept equation, I start with the b value first. So I'd start at the y-intercept. So I would go down 3, put a dot, bigger dot, Mr. Tui, there you go. Then I would go up 1, 2, over 1. Up 1, 2, over 1. Up 1, 2, over 1, because it's a positive slope. Make my line. It's not very good. Let me move it around. That looks a little bit better. There's my graph. Okay, so I've now followed the directions from the first one here. It says put each equation to slope-intercept form and graph. Okay, now it's saying use tables, use a table. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, and you don't have these, this is blank on your side, so I would write these papers in, right, or write these here in on your paper, these numbers, okay? And what we want to do is we want to try to get y alone, so we're going to solve for y. We're going to solve for y here. So I'm going to rewrite the function here, this 3y minus 2x equals 12. I'm going to solve for y. So the last thing I want alone is my y. So in order to do that, I'm going to get rid of this 2x, so I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Add 2x to both sides. It ends up giving me 3y on this side equals 2x plus 12, because they're both positive. And I want to write my x's first. Now, not completely done. The y has a 3 on it, so I got to get rid of that 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 3, and then divide both of these by 3 as well. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 divided by 3, that gives me just a singular y. That's exactly what I want. Then this just ends up being 2/3 x, 2 over 3x. Let me write that better in might be able to write it better. There we go. My pen there. So I got 2/3 x, 12 divided by 3, the last thing will be plus 4. So now I've got it in that form. What I do now is I just take these numbers here, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it in for my x value. So on my calculator, I would be typing 2ABC3 parentheses -6 parentheses plus 4, because -6 is my first number. I would type that in, write down the y, plot that point. Then I would do -4 in for there for -6. So I would type in -4, put that in my calculator, hit enter, put that part number here, and plot it. Finish doing those. Go to the pause the video, finish that. Okay, so down here, the standard form, the big thing we want to say here for standard form is a certain type of function. Okay, it is, oops, I got stuff going everywhere. Give me a second here, people. It is ax plus by equals c. And really what standard form does is standard form helps you find x and y intercepts. Hope this video helps you out. Try to work on this on the back side.